Assalamu alaikum and very good morning to all. Welcome to another day Friday session. Today our session is linear regression. So before we dive into the code, we have to recap our the basic things of linear regression. So first thing first, in the last session I talked with that in our linear regression problem we predict a continuous value. For example, it can be age, like this is a continuous value. There is a certain range, but age can be 1 to 110. If my model predicts someone age is 1000, it can be outer layer or invalid, because in the world no one can live 1000 years except a very rare case. I don't go there. So I already once told that the regression means it is predict a continuous value. Well, we can see two examples. Like I have predict the housing price. This is the very beginner example, and everyone start from this. Like the square foot is 12, then the price will be 20,000. Okay. uh, okay, I'm forget to telling about you that where is feature and what is price. Well, it's represented by x. This is my feature. I predict value. Y is the target. I predict any price depend on the feature. I am considering the single feature. Here is only you can see one value xi. If I consider the bedroom, it will be the another feature. So for simplicity, just consider if the size is 15,000. My model predict 25k. So I want to develop a model which represent that if the size is 18,000, what will be the price. So I want to develop a model. First of all, we want to make what is linear regression. Okay, we go here, like we draw our data set. Here you can call price, and here you can call the size. Well, so this is our data. Like again is the size, there will be the price. So linear regression, we draw a best fit line. It can be start central, it can be start where, it can be where, or whenever. Just want to draw a line as it is, we call a best fit line. So the values near the line, that is low error, and if the value is far from the line, it is the high error. So what is error? Well, we back to our this page. Like I have already have data that if the size is 1 1200, the price is 20k, but my model predict 22k. When ever 15, it predict 24k. Can you see any difference? Yes. So in the regression we calculate the error, and our goal is to minimize the error. uh, that if our model price 21k, let's say plus minus 1, we can consider, depend on the data, depend on the situation, how much error we can consider it. But the error is all error together calculate, and then average give a result. So we know the line equation is mx plus c. If c is 0, the line start from 0, c1, then start the line from here. Okay, we all know, but in terms of our machine learning, the same thing, but a little difference is that we can call this theta 1 x plus theta naught. Nothing else, similar thing, similar, everything meaning same. What is the theta or m? This is parameter or weight. Okay, and how do we represent this? We can represent this in a theta matrix like theta equal to theta naught theta 1. Okay, so far we have to know that we must draw a line. Where is the okay, sorry. And this is our data set considered. So what we have to do, we have to train a model. Okay, model generate a hypothesis. A function that is called hypothesis, like f of x equal to y. Our model generate a function hypothesis. What will happen in hypothesis? We give our input, we find the output or predicted value y hat. So like we remember can that our value is mx plus c, the line value, or we can say theta 1 x plus c. So we want to develop f of x is like, for example, I'm not sure it will be okay or not, 2x plus 5, and whatever the value we put here, we can see the different. Okay, if you take to the another example before we dive into the multi-feature, like time, number of hour you give, and you give the score. Okay, hours, for example, if you give 5 hours, you will gain 16 out of 20. If you give 6, you will give 9.8 y. That's the different. On the other hand, if you give 4, you can find 10. If you 24, so okay, we make it 17. What you think there? The is it valid for like 2x plus 2? If I gave here 5, then I got 12. If I give here 11, then 22 plus 2, 24. So the our hypothesis in that case is, but this one is valid. Yes, everything is not going to be correct, or we cannot find the desired one. So depend on it, that how do we consider it. Okay, and okay, so now back in the some things, what the basic notation of this ML. What is n? The number of feature. What does it mean, the number of feature? For example, in our house price, based on that we can say that room number, size, also consider the bathroom. So this is our feature, and this is our y denoted, this is our predicted value. And in our data set there are many values. Okay, so x to 1. For example, the index is 1 to consider 5 6 7 8. So, oh, sorry for the typing, I am writing the mouse, that is why like this. So x2, that means this, the number of feature 1, we can predict this is, we already told that our is our start from the, what I said, our index start from 1. Generally index start from 0. Okay, so what we have seen, that if the scenario is like x1, it is like xij. So if I put in value like x2, that means I do not specifically any sub index, so that, which means I have two value I can see, that is 6 and 8. But if I particularly said one value, I can see that the first second row first value is 6. I hope you got some flavor. Okay, so now we back to our good part. Well, where we start our code, there are two platforms, that is free. Also there are many one, but the popular two one is Google Colab and Kaggle. So very simple, and just if you have create an file, notebook file, you will see the interface is like this. And if we go to Kaggle is one of the popular competition site of data scientist. We can say there the competition is run. If you can create a notebook, if we create a notebook, this is looks like similar but a little different, that's it, nothing a more change. So we can put here our name. Okay, Dev Friday 16 Feb. Okay, I give a name and I do not put, we can here add self. It's time editor loading, it takes some times, so don't be panic. If I like, we know the 4 plus 6, the output is 10. It takes some times because the session is not start, wait, it take a moment later. You can add here our data, if we have a data set. So okay, the kernel is not restarted. Okay, where we can see the green mark, the session is start. If we like Dev Friday, okay, so the bad thing is that extra comma here. Okay, here we can see that the Dev Friday. Okay, well, now just close it, and here I have described our the main today's code this I'm going to present. Well, first thing first, what I have to do, or what should I do here. So it look like, don't be panic, I will describe each and every cell, so nothing worry about that. Okay guys, I have to delete, but no, you will find. Okay, first thing, that our at first our Google Drive should be mount, because I have you cannot see any data or any CSV file. So what I have to do now, first of all I have to mount my Google Drive. So whenever we run this code, every time we have to give permission our Google that yes, the data is here. Okay, uh, I am give the permission. Okay, let's take some moment, and here you can already see that there is the green signal. That means our kernel is ready. Just we start our fighting. Well, what you can say that the mounted at connect to Google Drive, but I cannot see anything here. It take some time. Whenever we can see here, I will show you. I have a folder here. I have a housing.csv file. Okay, drive coming here. If I go to the drive, my drive, then ml dataset. Okay, and here you can see that a housing.csv file. Okay, everything all right. So what is df and what is panda? Panda is a Python built-in library. We can do many things. So one of the core function is we can read any data through pandas. So we keep our csv file in df, the data frame. This is the variable name. So what is head? If we run this cell, we can see our data look like that. There are uh, price, area, bedroom, bathroom, so many features we can see here. But the predict is price. Based on this feature, we can predict a price, how much price. So sometimes the price in the zero cell or in the last cell, it doesn't matter, depend on data to data, but the rest of things are feature input, and this is our predicted output. So if we pass a parameter like here 5, we can see the first 5 value from our data set. Okay, so can I read this the column name, like if it is more than 20 25 columns, then I feel I like bother that so we can run this command and we can see that how many column are there. Okay, we can see that all columns here. So as a data scientist, what we have to do now, I mean ml code run, we have to at first, after see the data, we have to gather inform about our it, that what is. We can see that there is the column name 012, that means the 13 column as the index is 0, and non-null, that means that in our data set have no null value. What if I found a null value? Basically null value, like this is size. Okay, here is 2000 square feet and the price given null. What happened if I found a null value? If I found a null value, and depend on what I have to do for it. If my data set is very small, like 1 to 500 row or 1000, we still consider this is small. We can repeat it, the others main or maiden value, replace it. If we see that okay 1000, but we got one null value, we can remove this entire row. As a result, this the part is data cleaning. Okay, so we can see that the in some data type is object can be, if we have OP idea we can clear, but for the simplicity. Here you cannot see anything like this, but you can see everything is like uh, some string, so which is detected by object. So our target is convert all data, all object data to a number or categorical. Okay, so there are two way we can category, like yes, no. If we all time see that yes and no, that doesn't matter, repeated yes no, yes no, so we can yes 0 1 no, or vice versa 1 or 0, just simply. But what if I see size x, double x, xl, double xl, okay, triple xl, this can be medium. Okay, so where we can see these things is repeated for t-shirt. um, so how do we can say 0 1 0 1 0 1, no, we have to uh, in this scenario we have to convert it, like if we consider it 0 1 2 order. So what is the advantage? We can easily detect that 3 means triple XL, but if we say it's 0, but the machine is confused, or also human confused, 0 for M, 0 for double triple XL, which one is correct? So in our data set, if we closer look, the most of value yes no yes no, but here we can see that furnished, semi furnished. So though we have two things, that means there are probably other category exist. So as I have seen that there is no null value, I also run this value again. We can see that there is no null value. If we found one, there is count should be one. So I already told that how many unique number are furnished status, that we can see semi furnished, furnished. So we have to see the list. We can see, well, we can see furnished, semi furnished and unfurnished. Well, so what we have to do now, we have to encoding. There are two way we can encode, like this one, and we can encode, if we want to could be a smarter way, we just create an column list and then this is category. So I have run this code and it cannot run before the sklearn importer. Oh, I have to forget this. What is the sklearn? Most of the things are everything we will find there. We must be whenever the code we want to do, we must be come here and see this the documentation. There are lot of things we have not done but yet. So this is the very popular and built-in site. Everyone follow this. Nothing can be memorized. All we can took from there, and we just search the linear regression scikit-learn. It can took there. I will tell later about the site again. So what I have to, where I am, I was there, that give me error because name or ordinal encoder not found. Okay, so don't worry, I will discuss later the ordinal. There are some other categorical encoder. I will discuss many things in the data processing class. So welcome and advance invite to you join there. So now after run this code, I convert the encoded, and I have remaining one thing. Here you can look at this. I ignore furnished because without furnished rest of the things I get the yes no yes no. So if I run this head, okay, we back to our previous code. Here you can see that main road yes yes, guest room no yes, basement yes no. Okay, without yes no you can see anything else no. So right now what happened after we run this code? Can you see main road anything yes no yes no yes no? Without this don't look at this, rest of the things that is converted, and something are float, some are integer, is automatically machine do this. Now I want to put a row rank unfurnished, semi-furnished and furnished, because I know the three things are the different mean. That's why I have to give a rank them. And if I look this, what I have to say that maybe it's 2 1 0 0 1 2. So we can see this. Should we only from the head value? I have interest to see the tail value. No problem, you can see that the last value of your data set. Just simply run and you can see that the last value 0 1 2. Yes, here we can see the three value 0 1 2 0. Okay, now as I earlier seen that there is no null value. Okay, but for the cross check I have to check it, is there any null value. So it's return a null. There is, we cannot see any value because there is no duplicate. If we find the duplicate value and if we run this, it will remove the duplicate. But what it does it mean? It does the mean that our the shape of our data. So 5 4 3 and 13, which means that 543 rows and 13 column. Okay, I think you got clear. Now I want to visualize something. Okay, don't be panic, everything every code in our online, you just understand what happened, why do you do this, and linear regression is the very basic one. So I am here that this is this plot return. I just see the count which range I have most data in my data set. I can see that. Then you don't be panic about the prices like this, because here we can see 1e7 exponential 7. That means that if we 1e7, I don't know you are popular with this or not. This is like, so this is the number very big, so we can short from it. Well, and I have to draw a heat map. What is heat map? Nothing else, like the price. We can see here is the price, and we can see here is the price, and diagonally all values are 1. The one is take a middle value, the basement 1. If we down there, the basement is 1. So basement to basement 1, and the correlation with each other, like price to price 1. We can see the how much if we change anything for area. So area, okay, area, you can like this value is like similar. Well, so anything if we change anything in area, how much price 0.54, and if we change the last value is furnished, this is less 0.3. So also we can see the least value is 0.19. So this return that how much dependent each other. If we rise one value, how much drop or rise other value. So sometimes we can talk over the picture another tab. This is the main value. I do not, if you do not like this the heat map, I like the heat map too, but if you have no, so what you can do, just you can print the mathematical form. Well, you can see this is the, and okay, now we have to feature extraction. So as you know that this is our prediction where and rest of the things are feature. So what we can do, we store all the feature in X and prediction in the Y. So these things will help me drop, just I cut the price and store price in Y1. So if I run the X head, it will see that here we cannot see anything like price. Do you see any column for price? I'm sure that you cannot see. Okay, so we see that the divided into earlier, or just here we can see that 543.13 value. So what will be the x value now? X value now 543 into 12, which means that number of rows and number of column, and y only have 5431. Because of that, there we can see y one column, no other column in the prediction. Okay, now we split our data set. This is our entire data set. We have to split in four way. Okay, this is y prediction, x train, x test, y divided into y test, y train. So how do we split it? Manually can you drag and drop or manually insert? No, there is the scikit-learn model make our life easy. So we just gave them 0.20, that means that 20% data goes for test and rest of the 80% are go to the train section. So scaling is another important thing for featuring data. So as this is linear regression model, so there is no much important for regression. Regression does not depend table scaling, but if it is logistic, we can see that the yes value is 103, for example no is 50. So if we split the data, the maximum value took the yes, so we must be either no rise to 103 or yes should be decreased to 50, balance. That's why scaling is important, but there are two scaling method. I will share the file with you. Okay, I mistake the same that previously. So if you want to do not run this, if you want to run try yourself, I will share my notebook after the session with you. So what you will see, well, I have to this value is return more than 1, but if I run this it cannot return more than 1, 0 to 1 range. So I have to rerun this again and comment, and it's time to input our the model. Where we find the linear regression model, should we start write code from the sketch? No, we do not write everything. We just took this linear regression from our scikit-learn. So if I go there, I can see that this is the parameter, the attribute, and must everyone practice code from this official site. Okay, you can find code many other website, but all will not discuss about this. So I highly recommended you, whenever you learn something related to scikit-learn, you must visit their official page. Okay, I have to close it now. And okay, I call the regression model, and here is a store it in reg. So I run this, the x train and y train. Okay, now I have to predict. So there is a value like predict. So I just pass predict using the linear model. Just there is, you can see the notation x means feature. So I have to x test. So if I run this predict, it's return the prediction value. It's time to calculate our error. So how do we calculate our error? Like the model price is, for example, 1000, 2000, 3000, but our model predict value like 5000, 2000, perfectly predict 27,000. So we calculate all the error. How do we calculate? Just the difference predicted minus price, just the difference count, and we will know the how much error. So the in our regression we basically calculate R2. This is not run, the same thing and mistake again and again, sorry for that. If I run the R2 square, I see that the model predict 0.64 higher than 1. So MSC mean square error root. So if you are not familiar with the RMS MAE, I must tell you this is the very basic thing. You have to look after the thing. Okay, I can told share with one thing like the mean absolute error. The formula is the absolute value to predicted, y hat means predicted value, and this is actual, that's the different, and over the count, and definitely it's summation as we have many more data. So whenever MSE, which means that we just square this value. So whenever we square this value, it can change the shape, parameters. So for RMSE, just square root of MSE, nothing else. So that is our model predict. Our goal is to increase the value more and more, and I have to share this file with you guys. So if I want to assign if I want to test manual input, if I give this, what will be the output? Yes, I can text it like this. For example, if I increase the room 10, the value will be higher. Can you see the difference? Look at, if I give the bedroom 0 and the area is 120, so how much the price? I think it's very few. Still it's, oh no, it's going too high. So just the things, if you want to do take an input, we can like this. And here is the link with, you can clear it confusion and remove your idea. I will share the data with you in my GitHub. As long as you can find this in the Kaggle, I will share with you. So thank you everyone for joining this. Thanks everyone, see you next week with other topic.